Hi, welcome to Tipsy Tooth Talk. I'm Dr. Carlin Palmer Blume.
And I'm Dr. Michelle Bishop, and I call it T-Cubed because I can't say it.
And today, I have no idea what we're doing. Dr. Bishop did all the prep work today, so I am along for the ride, and you know, I'll have commentary, but.
Yes, well, so I'd like to take credit for a lot of it, and I had this wonderful idea because it's Mardi Gras. But seriously, dog, I mean, for the love of God. Anyway, it's Mardi Gras, and it's Fat Tuesday, and there's got to be like 1,000 beads in this house that my child has collected at parties over the years, and she's got this great mask. Can't find any of it, the local Walmart didn't have any either. How insane is that? Like, they didn't have beads. What's up with that?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think they were sold out. I couldn't even find the slot where they would go, so it wasn't like they were sold out.
Yeah, they just didn't have them. Had we thought of it earlier, I would have gone to Party City or something. But
well, happy Mardi Gras. Sans the beads, sans the mask. Let's make a hurricane. Okay, so today we're talking about hurricanes, and we're not going to use a mix. We are going to make it from scratch. We're good. And then we're going to talk about some technology. Scanning instead of taking those traditional impressions that everybody hates with the goop in their mouth. But good Lord, y'all, I need a drink, so.
I still make my patients do the goop, but you know, it's a rite of passage. You have to start there.
Yeah, at least once.
Then you appreciate that later.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so hurricanes from scratch. Let's roll. Okay, 2 of those of the light rum. Okay. Now look, I got little bitty bottles.
That was cute.
It was just convenient because I ran in. Literally in the last 40 minutes, I put all this together. So I ran into the liquor store. I'm like, I need light and dark rum. She goes, boom. I was like, okay.
These?
Oh yeah, just pour it in there.
1.
Because we get talking and then we forget how much we poured. Go figure. 2. Okay, now we need 3 of the dark rum.
Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling like this is going to make more than 2 drinks.
We say that every
time.
time.
We said that with the border buttermilk last time.
And then we end up
drinking
it.
This didn't make very much, and instead it made 7 to 8 drinks. Gone.
3?
3, yes. So there's 1. Oh, wow. Woo. Whatever reason it's called a hurricane. There's 2. 2. 1 more.
I got mad counting skills.
Doesn't take much.
3.
We're only counting to 3. Okay. And then, let me look at the thing on here.
Full is 2 ounces.
And full is 2 tablespoons. So we need 2 tablespoons of grenadine.
Okay.
And we have just like your traditional barkeeps or Rose's grenadine. So just to the top of that. And yeah, that's good. It's good. It's good.
It's going to the top.
So it's going to give us our hurricane color.
Okay.
And then passion fruit juice. So I don't know. I went down the line and found Goya. I'm sure there's other brands out there, but Goya it is. I actually kind of like Goya because they always have good. Like if you want like those random fruits that you can't find anywhere, Goya. Okay. 6 ounces of that. And then 6 ounces of orange juice. Listen, oh, that smells good. Wow, just got a whiff of that passion fruit juice. Okay. Oh, sorry, see?
She didn't prep this.
Didn't prep. I opened all the other. Thankfully, that was easy. All right.
Where's the 6? Right here, you do it.
Ooh.
I can't see.
Almost splashed. This is the only orange juice we got. It would have been like, oh well. Okay, 6 ounces of orange juice. Pour that puppy. Oh yeah, that doesn't make much. We're gonna give that a little stirry stir. I just felt like I put it in a pitcher because I felt like our normal, you know, shaker wouldn't have held all of this, but in retrospect, maybe, I don't know. And then you just pour that over some ice. Now I know some people like this. Don't they make them frozen? Like Pat O'Brien's?
Yeah.
Don't they make them frozen?
I think so.
I'm just not a big frozen drink fan. Even though I made that border buttermilk last week. But
yeah,
you know, that was early on in my, oh yeah, see, look, barely.
And I really like the way that Papacitos.
Oh, wave at Papacitos. We have to try and recreate that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Y'all would be impressed. All right, grab a little orange slice there. I'm just gonna set it on the side. Oh, yeah, I didn't score them. Sorry.
We're slumming it today.
I mean,
cheers to beautiful smiles.
Okay, hurricanes. Yeah, it's a hurricane.
It is
Now,
pretty good.
Here's what I'll say. I like the color of this versus the artificial red that you see, you know, with the mixes. I didn't want to get just a mix and tell y'all to mix in some rum into a mix, but I like this color.
Yeah.
It's kind of more orangey than reddish. I'm sure you could add more grenadine and get it a little redder if you want that.
I like that this is in Spanish on the other side. Do you know how to pronounce that? Better than Curacao, by the way.
Better than Krakow. Parcha Maracuya? I don't know. I really don't know.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's in Spanish on one side.
English on the other. And it was Spanish facing out in the store as I was like frantic in there, and I was like, And finally had the common sense to turn around. I was like, oh, it's passion fruit. That's what I need. So it's really good. Okay. Got any funny hurricane stories?
I don't. Do you?
I have. No, I don't.
Oh, that's no fun.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. It just came to me. It's kind of funny. So in college, now here's the actual true version of this. I had not had too many hurricanes, but I had been at a hurricane party. That was at like a fraternity party, and we had you know, a couple. And it was like the mixed stuff, like that nasty red that leaves your tongue like a bad cupcake from a kid's party, red. And I and a few other friends had eaten at a restaurant and gotten like some food poisoning. And so later that evening, like the food poisoning took hold and up came everything. And I, in a complete and sheer panic,
I thought you were puking blood.
Saw red in the baño, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying, I'm puking red. I mean, full on panic attack, like back before the days of cell phones. Praise the Lord, there was no evidence of that. And I'm like running through my apartment, yelling at my roommate, I think I'm dying. And she's literally in bed. And she had not been at the party with us. I was like, I think I'm dying. I just threw up red and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, didn't you just come from a hurricane party? And I was like, oh yeah, never mind. But no joke, it was not because I'd had too many of them.
Sure.
No, I promise, because all of us had like food poisoning symptoms other than just, it was just bad for like a few days. It was not good. So anyway, there's my funny hurricane story. I can't drink one without thinking of, oh my God, I'm dying. And my roommate, Michelle, was like, didn't you just come from a hurricane party? And literally it was like, oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all good. Okay. So, gonna share with you a little technology today, and I'm gonna have to move around here in just a second to show you how it works. But remember the days of starting braces, or if you're older and getting a crown, or you needed a night guard, or you just needed some study models for something, and you got the trays in your mouth with all the putty goop in it, and everyone complains about it. Oh gosh, I have to do that, and then you know something wasn't right in it, and you got to do it again.
I have a good story about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a theme today.
Okay. A puking.
So
it is Mardi Gras.
It's one of those things that if somebody's gagging really bad, you kind of don't get another chance. No. And when we're dental students, you get graded on stuff that's not only in your control, right? You have a patient. Your patient has to show up. You know, all these things are involved. So it's kind of high stress, and you're relying on other people. Well, I had a super gagger, and I was working on her wisdom tooth for a crown.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. And had to get an impression. And So, and that was the goopy tray, the tray that you put in with all the, it's like Play-Doh or Silly Putty, and then you push it in and it goes everywhere.
But it goes,
yeah.
It's not, yeah, it doesn't stay put.
She told me that she was going to get sick, so she held the trash can and I held the tray in her mouth while she puked. Because I knew I wouldn't get another chance.
Oh.
And that, I was not giving up on that grade.
Oh.
And so literally, I held it in her mouth while she puked. But I got my impression.
Did you get extra credit for that? Like that should have been extra credit.
I did get an A. Maybe, I don't know if I would have gotten one anyway.
I would have given you extra credit.
I deserved extra credit. It was scarring. Clearly, I've been out of dental school for 22 years, and that was probably our junior year.
Oof.
So, you know, it's been 24 years, and I would still know her face if I saw her today.
She probably still knows yours. She's probably like, oh my God.
Stay away.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know, the only one I remember in dental school is we had to do it on each other. That's how we learned. Now I had an advantage because I was a dental assistant for 10 years before I went to dental school. So I could take an impression in 30 seconds and get that out of there. But it kind of became a game with all of us to see who could load the tray the heaviest and like get somebody's tonsils without making them throw up.
Do you remember that when your
dental games?
Yeah,
it's like reindeer games.
When your class did it, y'all had a limit as to the number of impressions you could take on each other.
Yeah, it's probably because of y'all.
It was me. It was because of me.
Oh,
because Tyson, my classmate, who had been an ortho assistant, so he's like, I can do it. I'll take it on you. Dr. Lukey kept making him redo it to get the vestibule, which is like up here, perfectly. 13 times on the top, 11 on the bottom.
Oh my gosh.
I swelled up like a pumpkin. I couldn't lay down for 5 days. They had
5 days.
I had to see sitting up. I looked like the oral surgery gone wrong.
Dang.
And
I don't remember what the limit was, but yeah, I guess it was because of you.
It's 3 or 4 now. And it's because that stuff is acidic. So after you take the impression and you remove it, and you take it and you remove it, it sloughs all your tissue. So it basically burned my mouth. Now, it wouldn't burn yours.
Well, we're not going to do it 13 times. And hey, good news. We don't even have to do it anymore.
Well, we do in my office. But
in certain situations.
Yeah.
Now, pardon me, in my office, let me tell you when we still have to do it. We are not scanning for dentures yet or partials. And the reason being is partials and dentures require tissue for them to stay in place. And this is fantastic, but it doesn't push your tissue out of the way. And so things tend not to, they're working on it. I feel like we're gonna be there in the next couple of years, but for now we're still taking those impressions. So if you're coming in for a denture or partial, don't hate me, we're still taking the goop. But let me show you how this works. I gotta come around. My dog's probably gonna follow me. Did y'all see her make the cameo last week? Like, she is full on, she stops right there by you, and then she turns and looks at the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, well done, Holly. Gosh.
You know, the first many that we did, you wouldn't have known you had a dog.
I know.
But now every week she's
got
getting
a
more
bark.
and more involved.
Yeah, she wants part of it. Okay, so the scanner looks like a wand, and you're able to hold it just like a pen, the person taking the scan. And it is literally so fast that, and I have a little model here to show you. I push the button, and it makes this, I think it makes a funny sound. It makes me laugh. We're just going along here, scanning.
It's like when you call and you get a bot on the phone,
right?
And it pretends it's typing,
right?
That's like pretending it's like making an unnecessary noise.
Exactly. All right. So the cool thing about this that my assistants love, because now it's a contest, it took me 22 seconds to take that scan. So they're competing to see who can take the scans the fastest and the most accurate. We're not just about fast, but most accurate. But I'm going to try and turn this here so I can zoom out here and look. This is a complete replica of this model that I have here. And so we're able to do this. Look how cool that is.
Oh, yeah.
22 seconds. Look at that.
That's so cool.
Look at the accuracy on that.
Yeah.
So great technology. So if we're doing a crown, you know, we have to prepare the tooth for the crown. And so we come back in trim a little here, I think. I can cut out the tooth that I'm doing the crown on, and now it's got a hole. Sorry, I couldn't make this work without having this face this way and me be able to see. So I've prepared the tooth for the crown. Now we need to take the final scan so that we can send that off to the lab. And I just come back in. Come back over. Get my scan. And in less than 15 seconds, I now have the impression for the lab, whereas we used to have to make you bite into a tray or take a full tray again and let that sit sometimes 4 to 5, 6 minutes. In less than 15 seconds, I've got that, and I can digitally, upload that to the lab just like that. And my lab that I'm using is actually always connected, this little black area over here. So they're looking at what I'm doing when I start a case. And if they see something that they can't see well, or if they have a concern about, like, hey, doc, I don't feel like you reduced enough here, or I need to see this a little bit better, they will send me a little pop-up right here immediately. And then I can go back in, either refine that, take a little different view with the scan, so that I know that the lab is getting the absolute best view of your tooth to make that perfect crown.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it goes off to the lab digitally.
What lab do you use?
Dandy Lab.
Oh, that's cool.
Dandy Lab. And they're always available. We'll chat with us, even if they look at it and they think everything's fine, but we have a question, then they will get online with us right here, and we can just chat real quick in the operatory. Patient sitting there, maybe the assistant's making the temporary while I'm reviewing the scan, and the lab is online with us. So I'm gonna go back here.
Are they here in town?
They are not, they are in New York.
Oh, cool.
They are in New York. Let me see if I can actually pull this up. I know, right? They're good.
Yeah, I'm having some more.
Let me see if I can find that.
Because that's my life. I need some more.
Oh, let's see if I can. Here we go. Now, I scanned myself earlier. Oh, let's see.
You did?
I did. Let's see if I can pull it up. Okay. So, if you were scanning a live patient, this is what your final result would look like. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Now you may notice some little black areas. That's just where I took the wand and I scanned myself this morning in under 2 minutes and just quickly uploaded it. The other thing it does, you do the lower, you do the upper, and then you bite together, and you take what's called the bite, the way your teeth come together, and it melds it all together and gives you this really perfect cool. This little 3D image. The other great thing about this is if you want to do like clear aligners, orthodontics to move the teeth, but using the clear trays instead of traditional braces, we can do that as well. We upload this to the portal and they look at it, and then they send us back a 3D rendition of here's how many trays it's going to take to get the patient's teeth straight, and here's what it's going to look like at the end. And then I'm able to show that to you so that you have an idea of, okay, I'm going to start this, but what's my end result going to be like? You can see what your teeth are going to look like, and it's actually your teeth that you're looking at. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So many options. The Trios 3 shape as well. We're able to upload things for cosmetic purposes. Hey, I want to know what my veneers are going to look like. We can scan, we can send that off to the lab. They'll send us back a rendition of what it would look like with the crowns. And then you can look at it before we even touch you. Before, we used to have to take impressions, pour up the models like this, send this off to the lab, and then they would send us back what's called a wax up. They would actually, by hand, take wax, and they'd wax it to make it look like what your veneers would look like. But I feel like this is way more representative of what your final outcome would be. The other cool thing is sometimes we don't know, you're relying on your assistant or your doctor to take those little shade tabs and hold them up to your teeth and be like, oh, I wonder what color your tooth is. And we take all these tabs, well, if someone has like for colorblind, but I don't have anyone colorblind in my office, but you know, has trouble seeing variations of shades, this takes the work out of it. There's a little shade value here, and it will, we just click on a tooth and it gives us the shade right there, and we're able to put that on the lab slip, and the lab is able to see that immediately.
That's great.
Cool technology. Like, things are coming along, folks. It's easy to go to the dentist these days, because things that you used to worry about, especially like those impressions, no more. So many things that you can do with that. Crowns. I'm gonna come back around. Did that go back to my, hang on. Oh, I gotta click done. I'm still learning my assistants do the laptop portion. Let's go back. Let's click the little button. And so we can also look at the teeth individually. So here's the lower arch. Here's the upper teeth. So we can look at them separately, not just together. And then finally we can look at them together. So yeah, it's been a fabulous addition to the practice. Come on, babe, work with me here. I feel like I need to give her a name, right? The laser, Larissa the laser has a name. We need to come up with a name for I mean, you know, it's a trio scanner. I guess we could call her trios, but that doesn't really sound fancy enough. Boring. So if you have a name, if you think you have a fun name for our scanner, go ahead and DM us with that, and we will name the scanner and give you some credit for
on
that.
Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram, Tipsy Tooth Talk. Look us up.
All right. Well,
hope that was a little informative for you. And
it was informative for me. I got to be an observer on Tipsy Tooth Talk today.
And happy Mardis Gras, happy Fat Tuesday. I honest to God, we're gonna stop this. And I'm gonna walk upstairs. And I'm gonna find 1,000 beads, and I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm running another half marathon.
Oh, I know, on Sunday.
Yeah,
in Vegas, y'all. If you're going to Vegas, look for it.
This is gonna be
after. Oh.
Yeah, but I'm running another half marathon. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, yay.
Okay. Yay. Cheers to beautiful smiles.